And I want to thank you all for joining this afternoon session, which is entitled, Why is Nobody Talking About This? Exploring the Transformative Potential of NotebookLM. Your presenters today are Mandira Gerrels, Dr. John Boekenoogen, Dr. Colin Doyle, and Mrs. Holly Picard. Whenever you all are ready.
All right, let's see if we can get Zoom to work and share screens. Do you do you all see the slide? Because apparently I can't see anything.
We can see it.
You can see it.
Ah, great. All right. So what we're going to do here in the next 15 minutes or less is kind of give you a quick overview of NotebookLM. This is an amazing tool, and so we're going to look at it through my eyes as AIR, as academic innovation and research, why we think this is an important tool and how the components are great. Mandira is going to kind of talk a little bit through the eyes and instructional design, and then we have Colin and Holly are going to kind of show one of the great features of NotebookLM. So NotebookLM is a wonderful tool that was created by Google, and it's more than just the collection of these tools. It is and can be a personalized learning assistant. And because we have such a short time, I really want to jump into and kind of show you that this amazing tool has and what you should be able to use it both as a faculty, how we can get students to use it, and so forth. So I switched over to another screen. I want to make sure, can you all see this NotebookLM screen? Yes, I see heads nodding. Perfect. So this is, if you haven't been here before, you could create your account. It is free. There is a paid version, which gets you a little bit more features, but for everything that we would ever want you to use it for, the free version is great and it is amazing. And Google is constantly updating this thing and giving it more and more capabilities and more features. As you can see here, each one of these things is kind of called a notebook. I've used it for a lot of different areas, both teaching for other institutions, using it for the word research that we do here at AIR for ERAU. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump into one of the notebooks. And as a faculty member or wanting your students to use this, this is an amazing part or tool. It's divided into three sections. And the far left, this is where you collect your resources. And it's more than just a PDF file. It's more than just a Google Sheet or a Google Doc, but you can put YouTube videos in here. And every time you upload an item, you'll see that it's listed here. And the remarkable part about this tool is you see these check marks. This is telling you that you can actually have your assistant either participate and use that information or not. And so once you've got a lot of resources listed into the left-hand side, the power of this tool sits here in the middle. What it will do is when you initially put all of your information in, it's going to give you a summary of all that information. And it tells you how many sources there are. And then you can come into here, you can start having a conversation with it. As a faculty member, you can start asking it saying, hey, can you generate 5 essay questions based off of the content that's listed here? Or if your students are using this, hey, can you give me a summary of X, in this case, women in colonial America, specifically women in Jamestown? And it would turn around and give them a summary, not just a normal summary, but it would also give it footnotes to exactly where it found that information. So you as a faculty member can come in and verify that the data is valid, and your students can feel confident that if they needed more information or wanted more information on it, they would be able to select on it. And the more questions that you ask it about any topic within your area. What did women do uh, for? And it's going to go through and it's going to look at all the different resources I just mentioned. And it may take a little while to come up, but there we go. So it pops up, gives you some wonderful headings. Here's what I was talking about. This is telling you exactly where it got the information from, and the reference point to it, which is cool. What you can also do is you can click on save it as a note, and it's going to put it over here on the right hand side, and it won't go away. But I can allow faculty or students to clear out this information so it doesn't store it if you don't want it to. Only the items that you asked it to store. Now, one of the newest tools that NotebookLM created is this mind map, and this to me is amazing. It's reading all 12 documents that I put in there, and it's breaking it down into these categories. And then I can select on the arrow, and it breaks it down into more categories. And you can click on the arrow, and it will break it down into more categories. And if I want to know about that, I actually click on it. It's going to take me back to the center. It's going to go find that information. And again, put it right there where we're able to access it, where we're able to look at the footnotes. This is just such an amazing tool that I can't say enough that getting faculty to continue to use this, getting students to use this, and figuring out more and more exciting ways how to use all of the elements. So I'm going to jump back over to here, and I'm hoping that Mandira can take on, and there she is, and continue. But thank you guys so much.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Selena, for that link. Good old technology. Decided I bring the team together, and then it revolts and kicks me out. So thank you so much, John, for taking the lead on this and for screen sharing. So hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Mandira Gerrels, and I am happy to serve the College of Aviation as an instructional designer too. And I would love for us to nerd out for a second about how the brain learns and why NotebookLM is just such a fantastic tool to really help learners with that power of dual modality. So for years, as we can see here, cognitive science has shown us some pretty cool features. Shout out to Mayer's work with multimedia learning. Our brains learn best when we get information through both visual and sound, not just one or the other. So um, think of it this way. Your brain is like a two-way or two-lane highway. One lane handles those pictures and the text, while the other handles the words and the sounds. If you try to cram everything into one lane, boom, traffic jam. But if you split across both of those lanes, it's a way smoother ride and definitely less mental traffic, right? So when you're pairing those visuals and audio, we give our brain the space to actually process, connect the dots, and remember things more easily. And it's kind of like upgrading, like in using both Wi-Fi and Ethernet. When you're plugged in, you're going to get a stronger, faster, and more reliable learning experience. And bonus, this also helps with that pesky split attention problem. So here you are, death by PowerPoint, and you're listening to the speaker drone on and on and on, hopefully not. But your brain is flipping between trying to keep up and trying to give up. And that's when we get the glazed eye and excuse me while my brain is currently buffering. So John, if you can go ahead and move to our next slide. So now let's bring in the innovation. So John just shared our AI powered study buddy that, minus the coffee addiction and procrastination. Huge shout out to Vincent and Jorge in the last session. I am so glad we are talking about this tool. So really it supports both of that dual modality, as we saw that with NotebookLM, both the educators and students can create audio versions of key lessons, summaries, complex concepts, and really build it into a fun and engaging way that we're going to see in a moment. So learners can really take a look at those study guides and then transform them to both listen and review with the visuals. So again, we're really using both of those two lanes of the highway. And ultimately, that's going to lead to reducing our cognitive load and happy brains. So I'll go ahead and switch gears and pass it over to you, Colin and Holly. Take it away.
Hello, so I'm Holly Picard. I'm an instructional designer one with the College of Aviation, and I worked with Dr. Colin Doyle to develop SWIN 300, which is the Software Engineering Practices course. And a little bit of background on this course was that the goal for this course was to equip students with the essential knowledge and skills for developing large software systems. The course focused on processes, methodologies, tools, techniques, and that are crucial for project management, particularly in handling larger, more complex software engineering projects. So a key component of this course was the Digital Home Project, which was a collaborative case study where students navigated the software development lifecycle in smaller increments. This was a hands-on project that allowed students to apply theoretical concepts in a practical setting to enhance their learning. So to reinforce these key concepts, Dr. Colin had the idea of utilizing NotebookLM and their AI-generated podcast. So you'll see our AI-generated hosts, AI Talon and AI Ernie behind me, and as well as in Colin's background. But these podcasts followed the progression of the Digital Home Project throughout the course, providing students with a novel and flexible way to interact with the material. The podcast series was titled The Digital Home, a Software Engineering Deep Dive. And like I said, it was hosted by AI Ernie and AI Talon. These AI hosts offered a conversational tone, making the content engaging and accessible for students. And we had two primary the goals for these podcasts were twofold. Flexibility being number one, students can engage with key concepts at their own pace, offering them the choice of flexibility in their learning process based on their learning preferences, along with accuracy was the second goal. So Colin did go through and reviewed the podcast and the AI generated transcript to make sure that they were accurate. If I could share my screen, I'm going to share just a little snippet of the podcast that we created and built into this course. All righty. Here we go. Is it sharing? Okay.
Holly, when you share, make sure you get down at the bottom is the link about audio.
Yes, sorry about that. I'll reshare. I'm so used to Teams. Okay, let me try this again. Options. There we go. Share sound. Oh, it looks like it's not letting me share with sound. Documents advanced. Okay, I'm not sure if it's letting me share with sound. Okay, I'll try it again. Screen 3, options. There we go. All right, let me play a little bit of this. We'll go back to
called No Silver Bullet.
No Silver Bullet.
Yeah, by Frederick Brooks.
Okay.
And it outlines these inherent difficulties of software.
Okay, so it's not easy.
It's not easy. There are some real hurdles.
Okay, so what are some of those inherent difficulties?
So one major challenge is complexity.
The complexity of
And
this.
software systems can be incredibly intricate.
So that's just a quick little snippet, but I'm going to hand the mic off to Colin to answer any questions. And thank you, Tony, for helping fix that.
So does anybody have any questions about generating podcasts on NotebookLM or anything? One thing you will notice that these, if you might been on YouTube, you might heard those voices somewhere else, but that is really AI Ernie and AI Talon. They kind of moonlight, and it's okay with us because as long as they keep working for us, we don't mind them moonlighting under fictitious names. So let's see, anything in the chat for questions?
Don't see any. Well, let's see. Well, we can finish up. Mandira, do you want to finish up, or I'll hit the last slide when you're ready?
Just a huge thank you everyone for joining. We had a little fun. I don't know if anybody's seen the LinkedIn thing that's going viral of turning yourself into a action figure, but here we are, and you'll notice that John Boekenoogen is a special limited edition. So that's why he's got the fancy packaging. But thank you everyone. Sure hope that you give NotebookLM a try.